Hey guys, my name is Brian. Here on The End User, we talk about not just smartphones, but all things tech. Today we're talking about the iPad M4. So first, I want to talk about speed. It's incredibly fast. I mean, it's faster than this MacBook Pro M2 Max that's behind me. It's a beast. Now, the question is, do you need that much speed, or can the iPad take advantage of all of that speed? There's a lot of new content creators, creative professionals, and artists out there that are looking to get into this world, and maybe they're not looking at everything a little more conventionally like you and I would. I've been working on Final Cut and Photoshop for years and years. I went to school for this stuff, but I'm used to it on the Mac. And my brother-in-law, a professional sound engineer and musician, he checked out the iPad M4 with Logic on it and said, hey, what's the difference between Logic on here and on the Mac? Why am I gonna learn Logic on iPad when I already know it on Mac? And so there's a little bit of redundancy from legacy users like myself and him who are saying, even if it could work, maybe this is not something that I would do. You're not going to be able to film giant movies on here. I mean, big productions and maybe, entire albums on the iPad, but you can certainly get started and get pretty close. And that says a lot about the iPad and its speed. For everyday stuff, it's going to be able to handle that. If you have Microsoft Word and Google Docs, you can download all those applications, get a keyboard locked onto this guy, manage your Salesforce or Figma because it's all web-based anyway, and do 90% of the work that you want to do. Build. Now, I normally wouldn't talk about build because the iPad has been the iPad for years and years and years. Even I was a little hesitant to recommend an iPad based on it being a little bit thinner and lighter, but wow, I picked it up and it was a huge difference. Imagine being able to throw an iPad inside your bag and not even feel the difference. That's what this iPad brings. I would even pick it up in place of my Mac because my Mac is so big and heavy and it's extreme and all that stuff. Even compared to the M2, every time I picked it up, I felt like, wow, this is a 13-inch iPad. But this guy, no. There is none of that. When something's light and efficient and ergonomical like it is, then what you're gonna find is that you're gonna be using it more often. And a person who's using their Pro device more often is always gonna be in a better position. Imagine just dragging around 6 to 10 pounds of gear. Even a pound makes a huge difference, and that's that difference with this iPad. Number 3. And I'm certainly saving the best for last here because I am a sucker for displays. I love picture quality and contrast and all of this stuff. And the pinnacle of picture technology really comes in the form of OLED. The iPad, you're looking at it all day, right? Every time you pick it up, you're interacting, you're touching, you're looking at it. The older iPads, the M1 and the M2, it comes with an XDR display, a Retina XDR. Now, it was a great display, but it has this mini backlight system, and just like a TV, if it was put off angle, you notice it going, you notice it working in the background, which is really distracting. But now with tandem OLED, which is 2 OLED displays folded, right? They're on top of each other. Apple sandwiched them together to compensate for some of the weaknesses that OLED has. But as soon as I picked up the iPad, this display is absolutely amazing. I just wanted to look at it, I just wanted to use it. And some of the advantages that come with OLED technology is also latency. And that may not seem like a big deal. Like how fast something registers to your input may not seem like a big deal. But it is, because you're touching your iPad all the time. You're drawing on your iPad all the time. But you're coming from the M2 to the M4, suddenly it feels like you're touching paper, right? Because it's so instantaneous. It's about 50 times faster and you can feel the difference. So the display is a huge upgrade. The build quality, it's so thin, it's so light, it's strong. And the speed, it can do everything that you want it to do. I think this iPad is a knockout of the park. The question is, what do you need an iPad for? And are you replacing more than one device? I think there are a lot of people out there that just want to upgrade for the sake of upgrading, and this is not it. I think there are a lot of people out there that, hey, maybe I can use this to complement my professional workflow. This is not it. But for those who are in between, who are considering replacing their laptop, they're not looking to spend $2,000 or $2,500 on this grandiose, MacBook Pro 16-inch with 2 terabytes of storage and all of this stuff. You're just saying, you know what? I want something that's going to replace that I can use for work, I can use for, daily consumption, content, everyday stuff. But I also want something that allows me to be a little bit more professional than I am right now, right? I want to use Figma on it. I want to use Salesforce. I want to go on there, use Logic and DaVinci and all this stuff. You're going to replace a couple of devices with this guy. With a keyboard and a screen, it's going to be able to do it all. Now, can it do it the best? No, you're going to need a more hyper-focused product like the Mac Studio or something like that if you really, really want to get into heavy movie making and etc. But if you're someone who's up and coming, you're trying out content, you're constantly on the go, you're looking to replace a couple of devices, I believe the M4 iPad is it. Anyway, so that's my review on the iPad M4 13-inch. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong. I'm really out here for you guys. I do have links right below that like button for all the gear that I use. It does support the channel, so go ahead and check it out. Anyway, my name is Brian. I'll see you guys right here next time on The End User. Peace.